Welcome, everyone, to this edition of Talented Universe on this 17th day of October 2024. It is 11 a.m. on the East Coast. It is 8 a.m. on the East Coast, and it is 4 p.m. in the afternoon in the UK. And we're happy to have our guest from the UK. But first, I want to introduce Liz, and then Liz is going to introduce our guest. Liz, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing absolutely wonderful today. Weather is beautiful. It's a gorgeous sunny day. We don't have to worry about the heat. So finally we're doing good.
That's great.
And yeah. And I'm so privileged to introduce a very talented young actor that we have with us, H.D. Whaley. And I really hope that he can kind of go ahead and tell a little bit about himself, and just in general give us a little background on himself.
Thank you. So my name is H.G. Whaley. I've gone for a kind of H.G. Wells kind of vibe to my name. I've been acting since the age of 8, mainly like acting workshops and things like that. Been in a few productions, and then from the age of 14 started doing acting professionally in screen, represented by an agent for 4 years now, which is going really great. So I'm hoping to one day get that role,
The one that gets you noticed.
Yeah. So just waiting for that moment now. But my first named role was on Mammoth, which is a BBC show about a PE teacher who was frozen in the 70s and reawakened now. And I was lucky enough to be a part of that. Ironically enough, I did the audition after a day of filming as a student for like an essay job. So, yeah.
Did they kill you off in that, or
No?
have you just been in one episode?
Yeah, just one episode. It was the first episode, so yeah. Lucky enough to work with.
If they didn't kill you off, maybe they can bring you back.
Maybe, yeah. Because I was lucky enough to work with Mike Bubbins and Sean Gibson. Joseph Marcel was a part of the show, and unfortunately, I didn't meet him. I wish I did, because he's such like a well-known actor.
He is. I have a question for you. Kind of along those lines. Okay, you said you got your first major acting role with Mammoth.
Yeah.
And knowing what part of the country you're from, and knowing it's Wales and Cardiff, one, I'm almost certain you're probably a Doctor Who fan.
Yeah.
And two, have you ever been on any of the tours, or have you thought about possibly trying out for a role in Doctor Who?
I wanted to go to the Doctor Who exhibit, but that's closed. That's been closed for a few years now.
Yeah, I know.
Because they did used to have like a full-scale TARDIS down in Cardiff Bay.
Mm-hmm.
That was really good, but unfortunately they removed it all. But someone was telling me that in Bad Wolf Studios, where they filmed Doctor Who, there's like a life-size Dalek in the reception area. So hopefully one day I get to go to Bad Wolf Studios and film there, just to see the Dalek.
Well, if you're ever out in U.S. or specifically here in California, John Barrowman lives in Palm Springs, and he has in his living room a full-life Dalek that he got to bring home from set.
No.
Yes.
Oh, that's really cool.
So, yeah.
I did not realize that.
Oh,
Man,
yeah.
Should have asked him about that.
And I have his address too.
Yeah.
But he's not the most private person with it. He posts it quite frequently.
Yeah, he does.
So,
he does.
Anyway. You had mentioned to us off screen that you were doing a show or a mini show called the Welsh Avengers.
Yeah.
What exactly is that?
It's a student film or like like a student TV show. They did like it was a sizzle reel we did on Saturday. So I got to play a character called Sheepman. So it's this young kid who wants to be a part of the Welsh Avengers, and Captain Cymru like tries to like say you don't want to be a part of this, but at the same time the rest of the gang are having like a party, so I want to be a part of it. That was
Sounds
really
like
good.
fun. That
Yeah.
sounds like a lot of fun.
But it wasn't fun filming for me because I had to go in like under a kitchen sink for my bit. But it was really good though.
Okay.
But after getting in and out of the under the kitchen sink.
Besides that, are there any other projects that you're currently working on or would
Yeah, we
like
have a
to
question in
work
the
on?
chat room from
Oh, we
that's the
do.
question from Jack Conway. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Recently.
Yeah, do you have any acting work recently, or do you have to keep it secret? I think I'd ask you that off camera too. So I think that was the
Yeah.
answer that you just said. So
Yeah, I've had some acting work, but I've had to keep one project top secret.
yeah, we get that a lot. We
Yes.
get that
Yeah.
a lot.
So that was good filming. I wish I could say about it, but I can't.
No, we get it. We get it.
Yeah.
As I said, we get that a lot. You know, no comment, no comment, non-disclosure agreement, no comment. You know, it's
Yeah.
like,
We're very familiar with NDAs.
Yeah, so we get that. When you're not pursuing and doing, I'm sure you do a lot of. We lost him.
Oh, there he is.
There he is. Okay. Yeah, we lost you there for a minute. What I was going to say, why can't I remember that? I hate when my brain does not work in the morning. Live TV is always bad. When you audition, that was the word I was looking for.
Auditioning.
When you're not auditioning, when you're not, I got to get my question. When you're not auditioning, what do you like to do when you have some spare time?
Well, I'm a believer in the paranormal, like ghosts and UFOs and stuff like that. I've recently been watching Jack Osborne's paranormal TV show, and that's got me into the idea of it. And I'm hoping to get gear and go to like haunted places and see if there's any evidence.
Oh, that'd be so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want like mainly to go like to an abandoned insane asylum or something like that, because there is one up in North Wales, but it's like completely like blocked off, so you can't get into it. But there are places in and around Wales, like Cardiff Castle. There's the Skirrid Inn in Abergavenny. There's so many places in Wales, but like maybe over in the States as well, because there's haunted places over there, and I want to see what's there as well.
Yes, there are.
Yeah. Speaking of the States, have you had a chance to tour any other countries other than your own yet, or is that just still a really big wish for you?
I'm hoping to get a job to go over to the States, but like filming wise, I've only been in and around Cardiff so far in Wales. I'm hoping to get like a job in London or New York or somewhere like that, because it's one of my biggest dreams to go over to the States and do some filming.
We have some pretty cool stuff here, yeah.
So. Yeah, and other places too. I mean, yeah, I just went to a convention that was put on by one of the producers that has about 4 series right now, Liz, on air.
I think five on air.
Yeah, and that was kind of cool. But but he films. He has filming locations all over. 2 of his shows are in Serbia. One of them is New Orleans.
Philippines.
Where else? Yeah, I mean it's all over the place. So it's like, wow. But what else? Okay, you said you were off screen. You said You're a huge Doctor Who fan.
Yeah, definitely a huge Doctor Who fan. So I started it on the Tennant series, so the 10th Doctor.
Was that when you started? Okay.
Yeah, that's when I started.
David Tennant? No, yeah, that's
Yeah,
Yeah,
David
Tennant's what he
Tennant's my
said.
favorite Doctor. I like the interior of the TARDIS for him because it shows how it's like running down slowly. But some of the villains in it, like the Weeping Angels,
Ooh.
I'd want one for the garden, just to scare people.
a real one or a fake one?
Like a fake one,
Okay.
but it would be scary if you just look out the window one day and it's just moved. So
I used to have a friend of mine. They knew that because I worked nights, I'd fall asleep on my couch, which is right next to a huge bay window, before I would get up and take my kids to school. And they knew the weeping angels bugged me. And he threatened to sneak up in the middle of the night with a cardboard cutout and plaster it right up against my window. So the second I woke up, there'd be this huge weeping angel staring at me. I've had nightmares since then. He's moved to another state, and I'm still worried he's going to do it. It's like, ugh. The weeping angels, I think, were the most terrifying of all the creatures.
That's the whole reason they're called the silent assassins or something like that.
Yeah.
Because they only move when you're not looking, and the moment I saw them like surround the TARDIS and blink,
Yeah,
it was like that just scared me. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, it scared me.
Scared me too.
Yeah.
Scared me too. But there's a lot of people that are just saying hi. I'm going to go through them very quick. Amy, Joshua.
Those are my college friends.
I figured that's what it was.
Yeah. Those are college friends.
Is that Katie? Kit Kat?
Yeah, that's my friend Caitlin. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I guess you have a nickname. I'm not going there. From Jack. HG, what's your dream role?
Oh, that's a
good
hard
question.
That's a hard one. Oh, my dream role. Hopefully to be in like a Marvel film or something like that. Apart from that, action, horror, sci-fi adventure. But if they were to redo Back to the Future, and I hope they never do because it's such a classic, I'd want the role of Marty McFly.
I think a lot of people would.
Yep.
Yeah, but they should never redo Back to the Future because it's such an iconic trilogy.
Okay, going back to Doctor Who. Oops. Yeah, Liz, it's doing what we said. It's
sorry.
Jack, which character would you like to play on Doctor Who?
Ooh.
Or would you like to? I'll add. Would you like to create a new one just for you?
Oh.
Or a current one, or something, or you want to do something? Yeah.
I'd want to play the Doctor, but I think that's the most obvious choice. But I think one people don't think about much is the Master, because the Master is such an iconic villain. But if they were to remake, make a new character for me, I don't know. It'd have to be in like an alien life form of something, kind of like the Daleks or something like that. But I don't know.
Yeah, you have to think about that one, huh?
Yeah.
But you would say the Master you would really like to.
Yeah, the Master would be a good one.
Any particular incarnation of the Master would you like to play, or would you like to put your own twist on it?
Ooh. I'd probably want to put my own twist on it. Because I can't remember who's the name of who played the Doctor in the Tennant series. I think it was John Simmons or something like that. Yeah, John Sims. Yeah, he was a good Master. He had
unexpected too.
Yeah, because David Tennant and John Sims had such a good character relationship between those two. It just worked. So yeah, I want to put my own spin on the master.
Yeah,
I can see
Katie
you
asks.
like that.
Oh, let me do this one. Then you, I don't know, then you can go, Liz. What advice would you give an aspiring actor?
Oh, what advice would I give an inspiring actor? I say in tough times in the industry, keep pushing yourself forward. That's what I would say, because every now and then you feel like the industry's getting slow, but I'd say just keep moving forward, keep driving yourself forward, keep pushing yourself forward.
That's good advice. Liz, go ahead. I think you have.
I was going to ask you what genre, if you had a preference to any roles that you took, what genre would you prefer?
Ooh, sci-fi, horror, adventure, or action.
In
One
that
of those
order.
four. One of those four. Yeah, in that order. But I want to do a horror film to see what it's like. Because I've seen different horror films and they all play it differently.
Mm-hmm.
But it'd be good to play if they what would be good is if they made like a film about weeping angels. That'd be good. Yeah. If they did like a Doctor Who kind of like mini series or something, just based on all the different like creatures and villains.
That actually would be fun. Kind of
Yeah.
outside of the Christmas special, but something different, like a Halloween
Yeah.
special. That'd be fun.
Halloween special.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. That'd be good.
Yeah. Go
You
ahead.
you have kind of said that what you think would be cool to do, and you kind of came up with your own storyline right there, which brings to mind you do some script writing too, don't you?
Yeah, I've written a film script. I've had it read by a few people. They said they've liked it. Um, it's kind of like people are saying it's kind of like a book film kind of thing because
Okay.
it reads like a book. So that's like a horror, well, like a light horror kind of thing. So because it got the inspiration from one of my prom photos, because me and my two friends were here at my house, and my one friend, he looks really pale in the photo. So like came up with the idea with the help of my stepdad of like what if one friend was a ghost and like only his two friends could see him or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Kind of along the same premise a little bit as being human.
kind of, yeah, it's like a ghost and a human at the same time, but only
Yeah.
like two people can see him. So
That actually would be interesting. It'd be fun to see you expand on that and see what you come up with.
yeah, because hopefully I just get it read by a few more people and they give me more feedback on it and helps me work on it. Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let me go to this question, and I can't remember how to pronounce his name, but what's it
Mike
like working with the legend, Mike? And how do you say how you said it to me,
Bubbins.
Bubbins? So
Yeah.
how was it like working with him?
It was good to work with him. Only I worked with him for like one day, but it was really good. Um, yeah. Well, I met him first time during the read through, and he was really nice. Second time I met him was when we were filming Mammoth, and then the third time I met him was at the premiere of the first two episodes of the TV show. So he was really good to work with. Yeah.
Okay. Whoops, I just lost the. Here we go. I have another question here. Would you ever do films in an accent? And if so, what is your dream accent to do? From Gabriella de Silva Carden.
Um, I don't know. The one accent, I need to work on my accents. I know that, but I'd want to do American. But I feel like that's one of the most obvious choices. I wouldn't mind using my own accent as well. Or what else would I want to do? I don't know, because I did do an audition for a film over in Ireland, and I had to learn how to do an Irish accent for that.
Did you have a coach, or did you have to learn it on your own?
I learned it on my own with the help of my stepdad. So, yeah.
That is not fun.
Yeah.
I can't really do accents, so I can't say that. Katie says, if it'll come up, I see you as a Marvel superhero, HG.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then Tay says, would you ever want to be in Star Wars? Duh.
Yeah, I definitely want to be in Star Wars. Yeah.
Okay, and then okay, go ahead and spend that. I'll put that one up.
Star Wars or Star Trek? Ooh, I've never actually seen Star Trek though. I've seen all the Star Wars films.
Mhm.
Well, most of them recently. But if I was to be in Star Wars, I don't know. Star Wars, Marvel. Marvel wise, I wouldn't mind playing a young Steve Rogers,
I can see that with you.
seeing what it's like before he became Captain America or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, or unless they find a character from the comic books. So, but there's like a whole range of different characters from Marvel, which is
Oh yes.
like insane. So,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
I play a variant, or as like a variant of like a certain character.
And Tay asked, did you always want to be an actor?
From the age of 8, I've always wanted to be an actor. So I've been doing it for 10 years now. So I started off with in acting workshops. I did that up until the age of 15, 16. And then I started focusing more on screen acting. When I was 17, I had Mammoth, and now that I'm at 18, I'm hoping to get like more roles coming through.
Yeah.
Along,
Yeah. Whoops. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, along those same lines that you were discussing, do you have an actor that's influenced you in different types of roles you take, or just your acting style, or just an actor that you really look up to?
The actor I really look up to is Sir Anthony Hopkins.
Mm-hmm.
Because the first time I watched Silence of the Lambs, his performance just was really good. And then I watched one of his newest films, The Father, and his acting, like the differences between those two films is just amazing.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. You had a question, Michael, that you were.
I was just there's a bunch in the chat room now. A lot of them are just saying, but this is interesting. What's your process or technique for getting into and developing characters?
Ooh, it's a secret. That's all
Okay,
I'm
that's
saying.
fine.
It's a
Indeed.
secret.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a good process that I've got, because it helps me like figure out the character and figure out what emotions I need to portray when I'm doing monologues and things.
Yeah. Well, Jack says hello.
Oh, that's Jack. Oh.
Yeah.
You're right, Jack.
A friend of yours, or maybe
Yeah.
ex-friend now? Okay. Okay. This is a good one. She asks, who's your biggest supporter?
My biggest supporter.
I think someone wants you to say their name. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, someone wants me to say their name, but I'm gonna say my biggest supporter for most of my acting career was my Bamps. And when he passed away a few years ago, that kind of like it was difficult. But one of my other biggest supporter would be my mum, because she's been there since the start of it, really.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd say my Bamps, because he believed in me.
Yeah.
So,
And Tay asks, here's one of these directed questions. Do you miss being in college with us all?
yeah, I miss being in college with you guys, but I felt like since I've started doing my new course, it's better for me, because this course I'm doing is a level 4 performance, and it's showed me different techniques that I never thought I knew before, because it's a massive step up from GCSE college, like drama,
Mm-hmm.
to this level 4 performance, because it's shown me it's given me play knowledge and stage knowledge, so that helps me.
Which do you have a preference in which you'd rather do? Would you rather do plays and the stage, or would you prefer movies and TV? Or don't you care?
I prefer movies and TV, but I wouldn't mind doing stage, because I've done stage before, and I enjoyed it. It was really good on stage, because you get to work with people for weeks practicing. But with screen, I'm leaning more towards that.
Yeah, let me get a few of these comments. Jack says he's your biggest supporter.
No, you're not, Jack. No, you're not. I've told you who my biggest supporter is. So
Yeah, your mother. Mm-hmm.
yes.
Would you ever be in a Welsh language film? I think you kind of answered this before, but
Welsh language film. I would, if I knew how to speak more Welsh. I'd say that. But there's so many productions going on in Wales now, so that's helping me. But if I was to do Welsh language, if I knew more Welsh, I would.
mm-hmm. And Amy says, HG, we love you. And Tay says, I think you would do really good in a period piece.
Period piece. Ooh.
Ooh, yeah. Would you want to do a period piece?
Um,
Or would you rather stick with sci-fi and action, or do an action period piece? I don't know.
action. If it was a horror period piece, then yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just give it that side of the story, because you see these period pieces where they're all elegant and stuff like that, but if you see the horror side to it, that'd be good.
A remake of Dracula.
Yeah. But I'd say my favorite version of Dracula would have to be the version with Gary Oldman.
Oh, mine too, hands down.
Oh
Hands
yeah,
down.
yeah, such a great film.
When I'm sick, I normally put that on, and that's what I like when I'm sick.
Yeah.
I'm odd that way.
Yeah, here's some things when we were talking about.
You're identical to Chris
Yeah,
Evans.
and it says you're identical to Chris Evans, I have to say, and then uncanny resemblance, really. Exactly, I'm glad you agree. And HG, I believe in you.
Thanks, guys.
There's even more. I mean, you do have some fans.
Yeah, I got some fans.
Did you ever do theater? So that's kind of something we were just talking about. Have you
Yeah,
done theater?
I have done theatre when I was younger. Um, One of the first roles I did in theatre was Bill Sykes in Oliver.
Oh, okay.
That was a good role to play. Then I went on to doing Buddy in We Will Rock You. So that was another good part to play. And then I did this thing called the National Theatre Connections. This was 2 years ago now. And I performed at the Sherman Theatre in Cardiff. That was good because the cast were only there were about 9 or 10 of us in the cast because it was like this play about like friends, really. But that was good. I wouldn't mind doing more theatre because this course I'm on is like kind of theatre performance stuff like that. But yeah, I wouldn't mind doing theatre.
Okay. And Tejas, what is your favorite movie at the moment? Like right this second.
All right, the second, Back to the Future. It's just
Which
my favorite
one? One,
movie.
two, or three?
Number one. Has to be
Good
number
boy.
one. Yeah.
Good boy.
Such an iconic film.
It is.
And they really must miss you. Do you even talk to people at all?
I've talked to people, yeah.
I'm just wondering if
So,
you just left them and you don't even talk to them anymore. They're just acting like, oh, so glad to see you. Oh, but whatever. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Here's an interesting question. Is that it looks like Henry, or I don't know what the 7 means, but anyway, how do you prefer to approach a scene? How do you approach a scene? Do you like to rehearse extensively or keep it spontaneous?
Ooh. What I've been doing recently is having the script in front of me and performing the actions while performing dialogue. So I don't know. So that's the way I do it. But I don't know. Spontaneous. What was the question again?
How do you how do you
How do you
prefer to approach a scene? Rehearse it extensively or keep it spontaneous?
I say rehearse it like extensively. That's like, because I try and rehearse as much as I can because that's me doing monologues. But if I was performing like a scene in like a TV show or a film or on stage, I don't know. That's a hard one. I'll have to think about that one more.
Okay. Well, here's something I said, answering my question, I guess. He talks to us, but class just doesn't feel right without him. So I guess they miss you.
Yeah.
And are you glad that you made this decision to pursue this other more intensive training?
Yeah. I feel like this is the best, one of the best decisions I've made because this course has just taught me so much.
Is it online or do you have to go
It's
somewhere
in
for it?
person.
It is in person. Okay.
But some days we have workshops and stuff which are online. So it's a bit of both.
Kind of a combination of the thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, here's this is something you would have asked, Liz. What's your favorite dance move?
Favorite dancer? I don't know.
Oh, and would you ever dance for a musical?
If I had the training to like dance for a musical, I would. But I've always wanted to go and see Back to the Future, the musical, to see how they've done it differently to the films. And if I had the opportunity to be in any musical, it'd be that one.
You really
I'm
are a
such
huge fan of that.
Yeah, such a big Back to the Future fan.
Would you dance in a Doctor Who musical?
Who's the
Oh, Michael, don't say that.
Well, I could have
No,
said
no,
something worse
no, no.
because
Don't
I knew
corrupt
you'd
my
be upset.
doctor.
That's why I did. So
a whoosical?
a musical.
Yeah. If they were to do one, I'd like to see how they do it.
I think the
Because
closest one that they came to was the Christmas episode of this last Doctor, when he was singing all the way through the first episode.
That's true. Yeah.
yeah. I wouldn't mind dancing for Doctor Who. It just
Why
depends
not?
on the character as well, though. That's the thing.
And then Tay says, I think you should be in a Scream musical.
Scream. Because I've seen a few Scream films. I haven't seen the latest ones, though. I need to catch up on those. But if they were, I'd wonder how. If they were to do like a horror musical with all different like famous horror characters and stuff like that, it'd be good to see.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the movie that's kind of something like that. Liz, help me.
Oh, my mind went blank.
Mine did too. But so we'll go on to something else since both of our minds went blank, and we're probably both thinking about the exact same thing.
Probably, and I noticed there were a couple questions that some of the people in the chat room have asked that I had actually wanted to ask, but we'll give it to them.
Yeah, go ahead. You'll go ahead and put them up, Liz.
Okay, great. Now you're gonna make me
I
look
may
for
have
them again.
I tried to mark some of them, but
Okay. Well, here is one of them.
How do you handle moments of self-doubt and nerve before performance? Ooh,
that is a good one.
That's a good one. For a while, I did have like nerves before I was performing, and it all depends on the situation you're performing in as well. But normally, like when I perform in front of camera, I'm fine. But like sometimes in front of like people I know, I get like nerves, and that kind of affects my performance. But I just have to remind myself they're just people you know.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be nervous.
That is true. That is true. Let's see. Oh, what was the other one? Oh, yeah. If you weren't an actor, what would you like to do?
Ooh, that's a hard one. Possibly like a ghost hunter. Going back to what we said earlier.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't mind investigating like paranormal things. So maybe doing that instead. But there's so many options I could have chosen instead of becoming an actor. So, but I'm glad I stuck with acting though.
You enjoy it. If you got famous, would you stay in Wales or live in the States or live, in Antarctica or wherever?
Ooh, I'd have to go to the States because I've always wanted to go over there anyway, because I've always wanted to go to San Francisco and see the Golden Gate Bridge. I've always wanted to see the Statue of Liberty, things like that, Times Square. So I'd say prefer living over in the States, but every now and then come back home.
So, and I think we talked about this. You have not visited the States yet.
No,
You have.
I've always wanted to, but I've never had the opportunity to.
Well,
So-
hopefully you'll get a nice TV film role or something that you have
Yeah.
to come over here.
Yeah.
You will absolutely love San Francisco when you get the chance to come. So
Yeah. Now here's a wonderful question.
I was just gonna show you
Yeah,
that
well,
one.
we think alike, Liz. So there you
I
go.
know.
Ha ha.
I know.
If you could have a dinner party with 5 actors, and I'm going to limit it to 5 just to be mean to you, HG,
Okay.
who would they be?
Okay, Anthony Hopkins.
Mhm.
I'd go
I'm going to say
Michael
living or
Sheen.
dead. I'm going to say living or dead.
Living or dead. I go
I'm
Anthony
gonna-
Hopkins, Michael Sheen. Samuel L. Jackson.
Mm.
Good.
Who else? 2 other actors. Put me on the spotlight.
Could have done something worse, so be glad.
Yeah. Living or dead. I'd go David Tennant. And last but not least, let's go with Stanley.
Oh, nice choice.
Yeah.
Mm. Do you have a particular celebrity that you'd like to work with, Gabriella asks?
Anthony Hopkins.
And then
Anthony
this
Hopkins, straight
probably
away.
is very similar. Do you have a
Who is your
celebrity crush? And if you do, who is it?
Margot
Who you don't
Robbie.
want to say?
Margot Robbie. Yeah, that's my celebrity
Okay.
crush. Yeah.
Have you ever turned down a role? And if so, why?
I've never turned down a role. No. I've always given a role like a good go. Like, because every audition I've had, that's an opportunity for me to be seen. And
Oh,
I've
absolutely.
never turned down a role once. Because I wouldn't let myself live with me letting down a role that could potentially give me that like step into the industry.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, if Roger was here, this is one of our other hosts. He would have asked you this: what's your favorite food?
Favorite food? What's my favorite food? What's my favorite food? There's so many obvious answers, which is the problem.
How about what you had
I
yesterday?
have to. My favorite food, I'd have to go my nan's Welsh cakes. Really nice, because she's got like this bake stone and she makes them the old-fashioned way, and they're
Ooh.
really nice. That's my favorite food.
Well, this is going to be our last question from the chat room. Is there a part of yourself that you feel acting has forced you to suppress or change?
Ooh. I'd say depending on the way I act in certain monologues is changed, because it depends on how you interpret the monologue as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's changed me a few times. Because normally I go for like a serious kind of like way to perform, and other times I do comedy and I see the differences between me then, and I prefer the serious ones.
Yeah, last thing I was going to ask, I did read that you do a lot of monologues and are in monologue contests. Is that correct?
Yeah.
How does that come about? How did that come about? Is it something you like to do, or are you just trying to perfect your craft, or a combination of
It's
things?
a combination of both of them, really, but it's also about me showing the way I can act, and it gives people a chance to see how I act and see how I change between monologues and things. So
Okay, a couple of other people just saying
yeah,
they want to see you as Elvis.
I think you might
Elvis.
make a good Elvis.
And
Elvis.
oh yeah, well this is kind of what I had asked. Are you going to be in Mammoth season 2? I saw that season 1 just finished.
Yeah.
Or can't you say anything?
There's talks of a season 2, but I haven't heard anything about it. So hopefully, but it'd be nice to work on Mammoth again. But I'd rather move on to bigger stuff.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. Get your in the States or something that you can have to
Yeah.
move to. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes total sense. That makes total sense. Liz, do you have any final questions for HG, or are you good?
I'm good because some of the questions that I was going to ask were already asked by some of the audience. So
And that's why I posted them. Yeah, I'm mean, remember? So
yeah.
yeah.
I forgot you switch your names as much as I do.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Yeah, but you know, what do you do?
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask this on air because it could be a loaded question. So, Henry, I'm not going to ask that last question you posted just because
Yeah.
I don't want to put him on the spot. So I would like to thank HG for being here with us. HG, if you've got new projects coming up or you just want to chit chat with your college friends, online, that is perfectly fine. Just let us know. Is
Yeah.
there anything else you would like to say in closing?
I'd just like to say thank you for having me. It's been such a good opportunity to do this.
Hopefully you can get a little exposure in the United States. We do have as I said, not a live audience usually this time of day, but they do watch us afterwards. So,
Yeah.
and if anybody is into music, we will be doing on this channel, we will also be doing The Voice US. We've just had a couple of the new seasons, people. I'm working with 5 others for the next couple of weeks. So if you're into The Voice US version and like to be up and close and actually ask them questions in the chat room like we're doing now, look us up, Talented Universe, and we will be here. But on behalf of Liz and myself and HG, thank you all for coming, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys.